Hi friends, hope you are doing great. Today we are going to see about Cloud Bigtable. Cloud Bigtable, it is a fully managed, scalable NoSQL database service for large analytical and operational workload. A fully managed, scalable NoSQL database service for large analytical and operational workloads. So we can try Google Cloud Free, consistent sub 10 millisecond latency, handle millions of requests per second, ideal for use cases such as personalization, ad tech, fintech, digital media, and IoT. So about Cloud Bigtable, which is a wide column NoSQL database used for high volume databases that require low millisecond latency. Cloud Bigtable is used for IoT, time series, finance, and similar applications. So again, what's a big table? It's again one more definition about the cloud big table. A petabyte scale, fully managed NoSQL database service for large analytical and operational workloads. Cloud big table is Google's NoSQL big data database service. It is the same database that powers many core Google services, including search, analytics, maps, and Gmail. Cloud Bigtable is the same service Google uses. Cloud Bigtable service, Photos, Calendar, Google Maps, and Google Docs, and Google Drive. What is Cloud Bigtable? It is fast, fully managed, infinity scalable. Then use cases of Bigtable, IoT, mission data, server metrics, time series, ad tech or marketing, fraud or risk analytics, Monte Carlo simulation, geospatial, financial data. So we are going to see configuring the Bigtable. Bigtable is a managed service, but it is not a no ops service like Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner. You have to specify instance information. In addition to providing an instance name and instance ID, you will have to choose if you are deploying a production or development cluster. A production cluster provides high availability and requires at least 3 nodes. A development cluster is a lower cost option for developing and testing your applications. So this is the configuring Bigtable cluster. A cloud Bigtable instance is a container for our clusters. So here we are giving instance name for display purpose only. We can give the instance name as per our requirement, and it should be like whatever name I am giving, like quick start instance, and instance id is permanent, it will come automatically. And instance type, then we have to select production. It is recommended minimum 3 nodes, high availability, we cannot downgrade later. So development, second instance type, so it is a low cost instance for development and testing, does not provide high availability or replication. We can upgrade to production later. Then we are going to see about the storage type. We can choose it is a permanent, applies to all clusters, it affects cost. We have two types of storage, SSD and HDD. SSD, it is lower latency and more rows read per second, typically used for real-time serving use cases such as ad serving and mobile app recommendations. Next one is HDD, higher latency for random reads, good performance on scans, and typically used for batch analytics such as machine learning or data mining. When creating a cluster, you will have to provide a cluster ID, region, zone, and number of nodes. Bigtable performance scales linearly with the number of nodes. Now we are going to see about the database design consideration. Designing tables for Bigtable is fundamentally different from designing them for relational databases. Bigtable tables are denormalized and they can have thousands of columns. There is no support for joins in Bigtable or for secondary indexes. Data is stored in Bigtable lexicographically by Rocky, which is the one indexed column in a big table. Keeping related data in an adjacent rows can help make reads more efficient. All operations are atomic at the row level, not a transaction level. For example, if an application performs operations on two rows, it is possible for one of those operations to succeed and another one to fail. This can leave the database is an inconsistent state. To avoid this, store all the data that needs to be updated together in the same row. Since Bigtable does not have secondary indexes, queries are executed using either row key based lookups or full table scans. The latter are highly inefficient and should be avoided. Instead, row key lookups or a range of row key lookups should be used. This requires carefully planning the row key around the way that you will query the data. The goal when designing a row key is to take advantage of the fact that Bigtable stores data in sorted order. Now we are going to see about the characteristics of a good row key include the following. Using a prefix for multi-tenancy, this isolates data from different customers. This makes scans and reads more efficient since data blocks will have data from one customer only and customers query only their own data. Second one, columns that are not frequently updated such as a user ID or a timestamp. Non-sequential value in the first part of the row key which helps avoid hotspots. Another way to improve performance is to use column families which are sets of columns with related data. They are stored together and retrieved together, making reads more efficient. Thanks a lot, friends. Today we have done with the cloud bigtable concept. So in our upcoming session, we are going to see the bigtable demo. Thanks a lot, friends. Have a great day. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel so that it will motivate me to upload more videos about the Google Cloud Platform. Have a great day.